so happy to have David in my class this year. He's such a wonderful student.
Oh, he loves your class. He talks about it all the time.
Great, thank you. Well, today I'm going to be explaining David's scores for the Iowa Test of Basic Skills. Okay, this is an achievement test that we took back in January. All right, this is an objective test that measures what David has learned in specific content areas. And the specific content areas are reading, language, math, and then of course we have social studies and science. Okay, these tests are given each year to monitor our students' progress. Okay, to make sure that they're learning consistently throughout the years and moving forward. Okay, these tests also allow us to see how your child compares with students across the nation. Okay, and just remember that these test scores are only a snapshot of your child taken over a period of only a few days.
Okay.
This is only one measure of your child's academic performance. There are other ways that I assess David in the classroom. I have reading benchmarks that I do with him, writing samples, and of course just his regular work and his performance-based skills. Okay. The information here on the test, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. We have our top portion here, which is our norm reference information. Okay. And then we have our bottom portion, which is our criterion reference information.
Okay.
Okay.
Are these, is this the same information on both areas?
Well, actually, it gives us different information.
Oh.
The top portion here, the norm reference data, shows how David compares to students across the nation, which is our norm group. Okay. And this area is specific to our curriculum. Okay. So it further breaks down these content areas into the different standards and objectives that are taught throughout the year. Okay?
And what is the norm group?
Okay, yes. The norm group is actually a group of students who took this test prior to it being published. Okay? The norm group consists of 2,000 students, and they are from across all geographic locations. Okay? It's a representation of our population as a whole. Okay? So we have our geographic location, also takes into consideration the socioeconomic status of our students, special education population. Then it goes further in details such as the education background of your parents. Okay, so it's to represent our students. Okay, to provide a true comparison. Okay, more accurate. Okay, these tests listed here, we have vocabulary, reading comprehension, spelling, etc. These are the subtests that your child was tested on. Okay. The core total here, this is a total of these areas. Your basic. Your basic academic areas, your content areas. And then your composite takes into consideration the whole test, which includes social studies and science. Okay. All right. Go ahead and we're going to look at these headings over here. We have NPR, which is our national percentile rank. Okay, and this compares David again with the norm group. These are not percent scores. So here, if you see a 75, we tend to connect to 75 and associate it with a C.
Yeah.
And that's not the case with national percentile scores. Okay, this is to say that he is scoring in vocabulary 75% better than the comparison group. Okay, so he's doing very well. And I'm going to show you here, we have the core total, which shows you at 71, and then the composite is also at a 71. Okay. The numbers really don't mean anything until you see, we have a bell curve here. Okay. And if we look at the percentile equivalents, and we just kind of go across here, we see that 50 is our midpoint, our average. Okay. And if we look at 71, if we were to draw a line straight up, we can see that he's doing very well and above average in this area. Okay, and did very well in the test overall. Right. In this box here, we have the national percentile rank again. However, it shows bands. Okay. This takes into consideration the standard error of measurement. Okay, because not all tests are perfect. They have flaws. Our students have flaws. You know, he could have had allergies that day or missed the bus or whatnot, and been very anxious.
Yeah.
Some kids aren't good test takers, but David does really well,
Yeah.
so not concerned about that. All right, the standard error of measurement indicates the measurement or the degree of error with a plus or minus. Okay, and these bands vary according to the type of question asked. So some might have a standard error of measurement of a 1, where others might have standard measurement of 2.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why the bands kind of vary. You have a real small one here, and you have long ones, okay.
I have a question. These vertical lines that go down, I see there's like a wide and a narrow one. What are those?
Okay, the thin line, again, if we were to think of this as a bell curve, 50 is going to be your mid-percentile rank.
Oh, okay.
And then 75 is where he's at, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
So the wide band is going to show the width of error for the core and the composite total, which is where we had the 71 here. Okay, so you have the plus or minus, so that's the width. The overlapping of these bands right here show that his test performance is very similar in these areas. So as you can see, most of the subtests, David scored very, very close to his overall performance on the test.
Yeah.
Okay, just a few areas that are higher or lower.
Mm-hmm.
Now here we can go to standard score, which is SS. Okay, and this ranges, we see here, we have 210, 197, etc. Our range for this test, and it's different for every test, is 181 to 223.
Okay.
So again, we take the bell curve, and we kind of just put this here, that a majority of our students fall between 181 and 223, the average being 200. Okay, so if we were to look at these scores and just go down, we can see that he's doing well.
Yeah.
Okay. And even here in spelling, where he's at a 192, he's so close to the average. It's not a concern. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at GE, which is grade equivalent. Okay. We are going to we look at these scores because this will let us know if a student is below grade level, at grade level, or above grade level. Okay. And that's primarily what the scores would tell us, because if we were to look down the score and we saw a 2.0, then we'd be a little bit concerned. However, his scores are very well. Like, take into consideration, we have our language total. He's at a 5.2, which means 5th grade, 2nd month. Okay, so he's doing very good.
I noticed here, under usage and expression, it says 7.5. So does that mean 7th grade? Like, is he advanced? Should he skip it?
Well, where he is definitely advanced, and he's above average in most areas, this is not a very good indicator because he is only being tested on 4th grade material. Okay. Whereas it's hard to say where he would score if he were to take a 7th grade level achievement test. Okay, but he's doing very well in this area. So, yes. Another form of scoring is the use of stanines, and this is column here where it's NS, our national stanines, and they're single-digit numbers. And it basically provides us, at a quick glance, to see where your child's at and where they fall on the bell curve. Okay. And let's take a look at the bell curve again. We have this area where it has stanines. Okay. And the stanines go from 1 to 9, with David's scores ranging between 5 and 7, with the majority of them being 6s. Okay. And then we do have some high 7s. So if we were to look on this chart again, 5 is your average, and then 7 being at the top end. Okay. The bottom portion of the test, this is our criterion reference information. This is the information that is most important to me as a teacher because I can see where my students are. If they're grasping the concepts being taught, if I need to reteach, if I need to modify any of my instruction, and whatnot, okay? So this is primarily for me. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and start at the left column. We're going to move right. We have total items. So this is the total number of questions in the category, the number attempted, the percentage correct by the student, the percentage correct by the norm group, the nation. Okay? So the examples I wanted to show you were vocabulary. There were 34 questions in this area. David answered all 34. He answered 76% of those questions correctly, And as a nation, only 58% of those questions were answered correctly.
Oh, okay.
So he's doing wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. But I did want to go ahead and show you down here. If we go to capitalization and we look at names of organizations and groups, and I'm not sure if this already caught your attention or not.
Yes, it did. I was like, I see some
Yes.
numbers there.
Yes. Well, again, there were only 3 questions in this area. He attempted all 3, however, he didn't answer any of them correctly. And then the nation answered 39% correctly. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of surprises me though, because I mean, with the papers that I've been getting at home and going over with him, he's doing fine in that. From what I've noticed.
Yes, and he is. He is. Just remember, this is just a snapshot
Okay.
of his performance. Okay. But I do have his portfolio here with some of his work actually in this particular area.
Oh, okay.
And he's doing just fine with it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't have any concerns. With only 3 questions, it's not very reliable.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't give him a lot of opportunity to show that he does know the content
Yeah.
or the concept.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about that at
Okay.
all.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah. So don't be alarmed.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Like I said, he's doing great. And as a teacher, from making this observation, I can change maybe the language I use in the classroom because I know that it's different than what's on the test.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way we talk every day, it's going to be different than, you know, just cut and dry.
Yeah.
Here you go. So, all right, and I'm going to go ahead and give you this handout here, and this is just a breakdown of everything that we talked about today.
Oh, okay.
And a way for you to review the test on your own at home if you want to look at any other scores, okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to continue to keep record of David's progress in the classroom, using those writing assessments and viewing his journals and the benchmarks and all that. So, okay.
Is there anything that you think I should do at home to maybe help him?
Yes, definitely. Reading and writing on a daily basis, okay? Even if he's only writing a few sentences a day, that'll definitely help. Because with reading, he's being exposed to new language, new vocabulary, the proper conventions, and if he's able to write about that, then he can apply it.
Okay.
And
I mean, we read daily already. Do you have any ideas on how I can get him to write daily?
yes, I do. And we didn't really talk about this going over the scores, but he's doing really well in science. And I know he loves science in the classroom.
Yeah, he loves
Okay. So I have this book here that'll serve as almost a prompt and a guide for him.
Okay.
So if you want to have a journal at home, a writing journal, so when he's done reading, he can write about whatever he wants. If it's a creative story or if it's just about something he read.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Definitely use that.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't think so. I think you explained everything.
Thank you. He's doing really well, and you know, after making these observations, I can see that there are some areas that I can definitely challenge him more in, and hopefully this will help sharpen his skills and keep him motivated.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for being with me. Bye.
Bye-bye.